Hello, welcome to another talk on money, business, and investing. My name is Jose. I'm the founder of the company brain here at Master Investor. Ensure to subscribe and follow us on all other social media platforms. Turn on the notifications so that you know when we go live or upload a valuable talk that can change our life forever financially. As long as we apply the information that we're getting, right? That's how we turn information into knowledge. And I like to say that every time because I see a lot of people consuming information, but that's all they do. And they don't actually produce something. They don't actively use that information in their life. So it goes across the entire spectrum when it comes to life, right? We have to learn something and apply. And failure is part of success, but we don't have to be the ones that makes those mistakes. We can learn from other mentors and avoid unnecessary mistakes so that we can get to our destination or our financial goal faster, right? But we will experience maybe some difficulties along the way because we may not be aware of tools, resources, and so forth. And that's why we are here every single day providing the good and bad news of money, talking about how to improve our financial IQ, how to create wealth, which is measured in time. And that's what we talk about all the time too, because a lot of people think that just money alone makes a person wealthy, and it's not the case. Money alone does not make an individual wealthy. And there's a difference between rich and wealthy. In fact, that's what we're going to be talking about today, the difference between rich and wealthy. There's a big difference between being rich and wealthy. Ultimately, our goal is to become wealthy. So let's figure out our wealth number today. I'm going to give you the formula that we use to understand our financial situation today and how we can improve it. What is our wealth number? How many days, months, years can we go without working for earned income and still be able to sustain the lifestyle that we desire, the one that we have, without shrinking, cutting expenses. In fact, in many instances, we will improve our standard of living because we have a motto that we follow here inside of our community at Master Investor. We live above our means. Majority of financial planners that are fake out there talk about living below your means in order to become wealthy. And that is not the case how we truly become wealthy. We need to master how to spend wisely, how to allocate dollars into assets, right? And including debt, credit cards, personal loans, any type of borrowed money, how to put that to work in a sound investment that runs on itself without us being in there. Yes, we will have to put in the time, the effort, many nights that we'll probably not get enough sleep, right? Because we are building an asset, we're getting it off the ground. But the asset will have to make money on its own without us being present, right? So it's providing us freedom through passive income, okay? And the asset solving a problem in the world. Investing is all about business as well. A lot of people tell us all the time when we talk about investing and we start speaking about business, they'll be like, well, we're talking about investing. Why are we talking about business? Well, because investing is business. The more we know about business, the more financial success we'll have of investing. You cannot have investing without business. Essentially, every investment that we make is into a business, whether you're investing in any of the asset classes, right? There are 5 different asset classes that exist today: business, real estate, crypto, paper assets, commodities. And they all require financial education in order for us to have success in them. Now, I'm talking about actively investing in those asset classes, not giving the money away to anyone to do it for us. That's not what we do here. We're hands-on on our cash flow, on our investments, and we like control. Okay, so we are building companies that control all the assets, right? Those are assets are being or owned by our companies that we control. Summary: most individuals are unaware of the distinction between rich and wealthy. We can tell if we are affluent or not by looking at our wealth number. Our retirement may be made or broken by our route to wealth. The distinction between wealth and being rich. People sometimes confuse being wealthy and being rich, believing that they are interchangeable terms. Let's learn today the distinction between wealth and being rich. A lot of people mistakenly believe that having money and being wealthy are synonymous. However, there is a distinction between the two. The wealthy don't worry about money, while the rich have a lot of it. And often they stay awake at night due to expenses and other things that they have. They haven't yet crossed that line to becoming wealthy where they're literally stress-free regarding any type of expense, okay? What are we, and sometimes those people are the same people that we see at high positions in different jobs, right? The high-paying employee. What we are saying is that although having a lot of money does not guarantee that we don't have many expenses that keep us up at night. This could include cost or expenses for credit cards, private school tuition if you have kids, mortgages, auto payments, and more. And the reason why they're stressful because they're wealthy, we also have those expenses, but they are being paid and satisfied with assets that are working hard for us, and we don't even feel them in our lives, in the sense that we don't worry about the payments because they are free in our lives because our businesses are paying for that. Over and over again, those businesses are creating income from the revenue of the clients that are investing in that business product that we are offering to them, which is ultimately a solution. So it's the way we pay our expenses that determines how stressful we are in life regarding money. To put it briefly, wealthy people frequently attempt to stay, rich people they stay in the rat race, right? Because they like to work to pay for their items that they have. And if they stop working, then they stop making money and they will have a panic attack. The purpose of our community here at Master Investor is to assist anyone escape the terrible world that is referred as the rat race. Rich people typically have high-paying jobs that require daily commuting in order to pay for the rat race. For the things that they haven't figured out how to pay for those things without them working and exchanging their time for money. And that's the big trap right there. And the more money they get through their high-paying job, the more things they can get, but they still have to work for those payments every single month. So they're doing it wrong unless they want to do that, and that's their goal in life, right? There are people that like to work for the rest of their life in a job and they don't care. So what are we here for? What is our why? What is our purpose in life? Everything matters. But if you're listening to this, I am assuming that you truly want to become wealthy and have financial freedom. So we need to go over every single aspect of how we can make money, how we can multiply, how does the wealthy think about money, what are the patterns like. We need to reverse engineer the entire lifestyle that we want, right? And stop worrying about the cost or how much something is priced at, because we can always get anything as long as we have an asset that will pay for that. So focus on the assets column and focus on expanding our expenses column, expanding our liabilities column, because we have unlimited cash flow or passive income that is coming in from our assets that we're controlling, and sometimes we will get capital gains income too, right? It is likely that they also worry about losing their job or being laid off. Having money relieves us of these concerns. Why? What makes a difference? The majority of people are unaware of what it takes to be truly wealthy or affluent. Actually, a lot of people mistake being wealthy for being rich, meaning that being wealthy means having a lot of money to spend but not truly being financially free. What constitutes wealth? The term wealth can be defined in a myriad of ways. Wealth is a person's ability to thrive X number of days forward without working for earned income to sustain the ideal lifestyle. This correlates to the following question in terms of money. How many days could we subsist if we stop working today for earned income? With the money we have now, how long could we last? Most people don't have enough assets or resources to last more than a few months. So these are tough questions for people to ask. It might only be a few weeks for some. However, those who are truly wealthy and those who have attained financial freedom, we can simply see proof that we have assets that generate positive cash flow, or also known as passive income, on a monthly basis or even a daily basis that often exceeds our living expenses by a large margin. Those who are financially free can opt to never work a day in our lives. Our cash flow income from assets is sufficient to pay our bills and wants, and that sums up wealth in its purest form. To determine how much money we need to be financially free, use time rather than money. Wealth is measured in time and rich is measured in money. The majority of people prioritize becoming rich over obtaining true wealth. It is preferable to quantify our wealth in terms of time, or what we refer to as the wealth number, as opposed to monetary values. The dual inquiry to ascertain our wealth number. There are two key components to answering the question. If we, or you and your partner, stopped working today, how long could we survive financially? In order to determine our wealth number. Number one, should a person cease to work now? It implies that we will no longer be receiving paychecks. We are not longer able to work for a company or a job, thus there is not revenue from any type of job and from those sources for whatever reason. Number two, how much longer could we make ends meet? We are talking about surviving or thriving at our existing level of living, not about selling our car and taking the bus, selling our house, cutting back on eating out or anything else. How long would our money last, considering the amount we currently spend today? The road to financial success, figuring out our wealth number. How does one go about becoming wealthy? This is how our wealth number is defined. Term definitions. For the purpose of determining our wealth number, our money can include everything that can be turned into cash right now, such as savings, CDs, retirement accounts, liquid stocks we could sell today, and actual gold and silver that we own, or even crypto that we can utilize. It excludes things like selling our second car, furnishings, jewelry, and other items that might reduce our existing quality of living. So none of those items, okay? It does not contain dividend income flow, as well as revenue from real estate rentals and other investments that generate income on their own. So any money that we have plus the cash flow that we're getting from our businesses, all of that, okay? Finding out what our monthly expenses are will also be necessary. Note, it is simple to deceive ourselves about how much we truly spend each month on expenses. So get out our credit card and bank statements and compare the average prices of all of our purchases for the previous 3 months. Make sure to account for all of our expenses, because the goal is to increase our passive income to support the lifestyle that we choose, not to live below it. Here at Master Investor, we pride ourselves of living above our means mindset rather than shrinking when attempting to build wealth. However, perform this formula or computation once more, even if we have already completed it for ourselves. Why? Our finances are dynamic, meaning they are always evolving. One might think of a response that is comparable, or we might be taken aback by what we discover. Perform the calculations. We can calculate our wealth by dividing our total amount of money available by our total monthly expenses. When we know our monthly expenses and our total amount of money available, this is a question. Our wealth number is equal to our monthly expenses divided by our available funds. Our wealth figure can be found by doing the arithmetic and dividing our available funds by our monthly expenses. What is meant by that, the unit of measurement for our wealth number is time. In this example, months. For instance, we will divide 25,000 by 5,000, or 5, if our entire monthly expenses were 5,000 and our total income was 25,000. our wealth number is, or the total money that we have now is 25,000. Our wealth number is this. It implies that without working, a person might get by on the money he or she now has for 5 months. Therefore, 24 months is what it signifies it if our wealth number is 24. 6 months is what we get if our number is 6. This calculator will therefore provide the precise number of months we might live if the person quits their job today or if they and their partner did. So what is our wealth number? Let's do the math and figure out where we are, right? How much money do we have available? Do we have any assets right now? We have to then grab that number, grab our monthly expenses and divide it by the number that we got from all of our money that we can collect right now. And if you have businesses, and how much money we're getting every single month from those investments, so that we can add it into that. And that's going to tell us exactly how long can we thrive without having to worry about paying the bills. And that's our wealth. That's our freedom right there. And that's what we want to look for when we're building our wealth, right? It's the freedom that we have, control over our time, and be able to tap into the lifestyle that we desire without shrinking or living below our means. In fact, doing the very opposite. Embracing reality. This calculation is the present for most people. It puts our money and us face to face. It is the clearest and most accurate representation of our current financial situation. Many people have a wealth number of 3 or lower. This implies that they could only last 3 months or fewer without receiving a paycheck. They essentially exist from paycheck to paycheck. Some have negative numbers, meaning they are actually spending more money each month than they are making. Honestly, it makes no difference what our wealth number is, so we shouldn't feel ashamed of the number. We just need to look at it, face the reality, improve our financial IQ so that we can solve financial problems starting with our own, and then therefore we will improve our wealth number. Just like that, it is our number. We don't have to worry about it all the time or try to make it right or wrong. That's just the way things are, clearly. We now possess knowledge that the majority of people will never bother to learn. Most importantly, now that we are aware, we may act to alter and improve it if we choose to become free. Recognizing the two approaches to retirement. Now make sure our retirement plans take into account our wealth number. Retirement can be thought of in 2 ways: the conventional method and the master investor's approach. After it comes to financial philosophies and methods, master investors' approach differs from others in the industry in that the majority of financial planners, specialists, fake financial teachers, spokespeople, and journalists anticipate 2 things happening after we retire. Number 1, due to the absence of a job and increased medical costs as we become older. And number 2, the employee or self-employed standard of living will be lower in retirement than it was while they were actively working for earned income. We will have a set amount, or they will have a set amount of money to live on that pay. Live on that pay them a little interest. These presumptions are not part of the master investor's ideology. Rather, we presume, number 1, every month we receive passive income that either matches or surpasses our living expenses forever. Number 2, put another way, once we retire or stop working, we never have to worry about running out of money, and our level of living either stays the same or often rises as we wish. We compute the wealth number for this reason. Imagine knowing we are almost out of money when we are 70, 80, 90, or 100 years old. That would be awful. What does wealth mean to us? Look at our finances now. Do we have a lot of money? Do we have any assets? Let's take a look at our financial statement. If the number in front of us makes us unpleasant or even angry and for some depressed, that is excellent. Better still, if it causes us anxiety regarding future retirement, that simply indicates that action must be taken. to understand how to create long-term cash flow streams, think about signing up for a free educational program here at Master Investor. We have 3 ebooks right now with digital courses: the 10 new rules of money, how to build cash flow with the internet, turn passive income on, and how to invest in crypto to build wealth, understanding Bitcoin and blockchain. You can find the ebooks and also the paperbacks on Amazon through Kindle. However, going to our website will allow you to have access to additional assets that we're adding into each digital course as we move forward. Any asset that we add into the ebook, which will be a digital course on our website, whoever gets in today will always be grandfathered in for any other asset that we add in there. As we move forward, we add in exclusive interviews with wealthy entrepreneurs and new entrepreneurs to emphasize more on each topic of all the volumes, right? So whoever comes into our podcast where we do exclusive interview will be added in there exclusively only for the members of that course. So it might not even be accessible on YouTube for the public. It's going to only be for the people that are participating in that specific course. So it's a vivid digital course because it's constantly evolving, and it's a win-win. It's a great investment, okay? Because in a year, 10 years, 5 years from now, that particular course is going to be worth a lot more. And it's a great investment because we got it for a certain price at the time of today, which will be a fraction. Okay, so make sure you check it out. We're releasing a new digital course and ebook in the next month. It's called How to Raise Capital to Build Wealth. Everything that we're doing here is to help us build true wealth, okay? We may also look into some free tools that might help us become more financially literate on our website. It is never too late to start implementing improvements for our financial future. Being alive and not mastering money through investing, it is like a race car driver without a car. When will he or she win a race if there's no car available to win? Never. Therefore, money is like the car we need to accomplish our dreams and goals in this life. So let's put the subject of money as number 1 in order to master it and have excess of cash flow from sound assets that our companies control. To improve our wealth numbers, simply focus on what the wealthy focus on. The ultra wealthy focuses on acquiring sound assets with companies, then using the surplus of their businesses to invest into acquiring more assets that produce positive cash flow and capital gains income. Rule number 1 in our community here at Master Investor is that we focus on working to build passive income and making money multiply through sound investing, which will also bring capital gains income. Once we shift our mindset regarding money and equip ourselves with the right context and content, then we can create total freedom. Today we are living in the best times of history due to the ability to communicate with the entire world at the same time. Take a look at the diagram below to understand rule number 1. We focus on the assets column rather than a high-paying job. If you're listening to our podcast right now, we're also doing a live stream on our YouTube and other platforms. So we are sharing the screen. If you'd like to get the article or see the live stream, make sure you go to our channel and subscribe over there. And if we can't get to either the live stream or the podcast, at least we'll have a newsletter with the article sent via email to our inboxes so that we can read it before we go to sleep or when we have a chance during the day. It's all about becoming a little smarter financially than we were yesterday. Once we apply that little habit, it will leverage us to wealth. Definitely. That's a big difference right there. Just feeding ourselves daily with financial education like we're doing, it's going to make the big difference at the end. Thank me later. So the diagram, invest for passive income, like the wealthy do. We can see that on this financial statement, our assets are increasing and we're making positive cash flow or passive income from controlling assets even when the economy is doing bad. Also, the wealthy ensures that investing in financial education is a priority when it comes to our expenses, regardless of the financial situation we are currently facing. Investing in financial education are expenses to create wealth for us, which means total freedom. So we must put investing in financial education as an expense. The poor mindset, 97% of the world, right? There are two types of mindset when it comes to money: poor mindset and the wealthy mindset. So the poor mindset, on this diagram, we can see that on the financial statement, specifically on the income statement, it shows that their expenses, as number one, they pay taxes because they work for earned income. The employee and self-employed have earned income from a job, therefore they pay taxes first and maybe buy assets after, if any left. Majority never get to even buy any assets because they're too afraid, and if they do, they give the money to somebody else to do it for them, so they don't even know what's going on, and they're not even receiving passive income, so it's not an asset. They're not even getting capital gains income today, so it's not an asset. Even if they call it an asset, they may feel like they have an asset because it's going up in value in their mind, or through a paper that they're getting every quarter or whatever. But as long as they're not touching that money and they're not receiving any passive income, it's not as a liability. Anyway, so their expenses look, number one, pay taxes because their taxes are being taken out automatically, right? Even before they touch their check, it's already taken out. Number two, acquire liabilities. They focus on looking rich and having a nice car, having a nice home, having nice clothes. And then number three, acquire assets. So they have no income left to acquire any assets, and they have no financial education. So it doesn't take money to make money, but they don't have income left because they pay taxes and they acquire liabilities, and they don't have financial education, therefore they can't create money out of thin air, or they don't know how to raise capital like the wealthy do, right? Because we can make money without money. As long as we have the right systems in place, we can raise capital, and we have the right business and solution and so forth, the right team, we can attract money to us. We don't need to have one. We definitely will make money with money because we have financial education. So what requires us to make money like the wealthy do is financial education. Poor mindset people attempts to buy assets with after-tax dollars. Many times it is not enough to afford any assets after everything is paid, including their expenses from liabilities. Therefore, their assets column is empty. They lack financial education and they do not actively invest themselves. Now take a look at the wealthy mindset and the way we operate. Wealthy mindset, about 3%. We look at the financial statement in front of us here. We have the income statement, and it shows that our businesses buy other assets first and then pay taxes after, if any. Usually we never pay taxes because we know how to navigate through the tax code. We have the right tax strategy. We're taking business expenses legally. We're documenting everything. We're not hiding any money. The more money we make, the less taxes we pay because we're making it the proper way. We're making it the way the tax code is telling us to make it so that we can get those tax benefits, okay? Plus, we're creating jobs and we're providing solutions to different areas that the government wants us to provide solutions to. And because we do that, they become our partners. So as we can see on the expenses column, we have number one, acquire assets. Number two, pay taxes, if any, meaning that we use debt. Debt is tax-free because money is created with debt. So we're building passive income and we're using debt. Debt is tax-free, passive income is taxed at the lowest bracket. And capital gains income can also take advantage to tax advantages because there are certain rules and laws that allow us to move the gains into a new asset, for example, through a 1031 exchange. We're talking about real estate, right? Not all capital gains will be able to minimize taxes. That's why it's important that we focus on building passive income out of the two types of income from investing, right? Passive income and capital gains income. Because once we focus on passive income, we will get capital gains income along the way because some asset classes will only bring us that type of income. So, and we will diversify among the 5 different asset classes that exist. That's how we hedge for inflation and protect ourselves from down economies. Wealthy people buy or acquire assets. Oh, and then number 3, acquire liabilities, because we focus on acquire an asset. And if we want a liability, because maybe it's a Lamborghini or something that we want to have in our lives that is expensive, or it costs a monthly payment, or it's a big chunk of money at the beginning to get it, Then we're going to focus on building an asset that will provide that income so that we don't work for that liability. The asset will pay for that liability over and over again. So our expenses, number 1, acquire assets. Number 2, pay taxes if any. Number 3, acquire liabilities. And above right there with acquire assets is also financial education, because we need to have that as number 1, acquire assets and financial education. Now think about the way we should move forward from here so that we act more to the person we wish to become. Everything starts with patterns. Focus on putting more value in our why we do things instead of the money alone. When we have a strong enough why, usually we persevere through the difficult times. Once we start developing our minds with the tools to beat this game of life, which in order to be able to do so, we must master money through business and investing, not through working at a job, through business and investing. Building wealth is not about shrinking, cutting expenses, saving money, and living below our means. It is the very opposite of that poor mindset. Building wealth requires spending money through investing, acquiring more expenses, more liabilities, and expanding our assets column with real assets that generate passive income and capital gains income for us today, to the point that those assets help us reach infinite return on investment. That is when we are receiving money for nothing, literally. The assets recoup our capital that we invested initially back, and we still collect passive income from the assets, even though we have no money of ours in the business or investment. Now we know that wealth is not measured only with money, but also with time. Many people with money in their bank account today, but they are not free. What is our wealth number today? Let's answer that important question daily and improve that number constantly. Start investing in high quality financial education here with us today. And I hope that you learn a lot from today's talk. Let me know what your wealth number is. Figure that out. Start working on building true wealth, because we have the knowledge, we have the financial plan for us, catered to our situation. Everybody's wealth number is different, okay? Not everybody wants to have the same things in life. So figure our ideal scene, what we like to live, how we like to live, and we can accomplish that. Anyone can. We have the information, we have the tools, we have these communities available to us on our fingertips, and we can all impact the world in a positive manner as long as we focus on our priorities. Don't waste time, okay? That's the one thing we should not ever do, is waste time doing the wrong things. We must have a plan, understand why are we here, what are our passions, what we like to do, what do we like to solve in the world. Everybody has an affinity for something, and when we start looking on those areas, then we can find solutions that we can provide to the world. For example, I love business and investing, so we're providing solutions on that, right? And it's helping people around the world. And when we do that, we literally get fulfilled with happiness and love, because we are making a positive impact in the world. What better feeling than helping people escape the rat race and build true wealth? So make sure that we have an understanding of who we are, because we are spending time with ourselves. We understand the new rules of money. We are not afraid to change, to evolve. We are uncomfortable all the time because we are expanding. We are knowing new things that we didn't know. And the more we know, we don't know anything. Therefore, we gotta continue improve our mindset, and specifically through financial education, because once we have the keys of life, which is money is something that regardless who we are, it has the same language, like it means the same everywhere in the world. And we need to approach money as a way to create the lifestyle that we want, right? We need to use it as a tool, because it is a tool to manifest whatever we want and ever needed, okay? And money answers all things. It magnifies who we are, it multiplies. And it's going to be like that for the rest of our lives. Money is something we must master. Don't let money master us. We gotta take in charge of our money. We gotta take control over the decisions of what happens with our money and how to multiply so that we don't have to ever work for money. Money's working hard for us non-stop, and we are living the life that we want with freedom. Don't wait until you're 65, 80 to live a mediocre life because you follow the old rules of money and whatever everybody else was telling you to do. Focus on building wealth. Anybody can build financial freedom and wealth today as long as we get a financial education and take action, solve problems in the world, improve our financial IQ, and begin to serve more people, right? That's what it takes. It's about serving others, become more generous. How can we improve people's lives? Even when we're doing networking, we have to focus on improving that person who we are listening to. Maybe all they need is a person to listen to, right? Some people that will change their life. They're looking for somebody that they can speak to. So sometimes our job in a networking event is to listen to others. And of course, get the information, build rapport, and so forth. But when we speak, we're going to ensure that our words are powerful, are catered for that individual entity, and it's going to improve them. It's going to leave a positive mark so that every time they think of us, they're like, wow, they changed my life. I want to do business with them. I want to invest in whatever they're doing, right? If we're selling products of some kind, maybe you like fitness, maybe you like yoga, meditation, right? And as we're networking with other prospects, other people, we're building relationships, we're building networks, and that's what it takes to become financially independent and then build financial freedom and then true wealth, okay? Because remember, being financially independent, being able to pay for the bills, it doesn't stop there, okay? We have to continue to bring more excess of cash flow so that we can have freedom and we have excess of cash flow coming in from our assets, providing us with the ability to buy whatever we want and obtain anything that we ever dream of, okay? It's important that we follow the new rules of money. You'll find that our books and courses and everything that we do here at Master Investor is to help us become better leaders, wealth entrepreneurs, and master investors. It's all about becoming a capitalist. That's the highest level of investor, is a capitalist or an inside investor, or as we call it, a master investor, okay? And it doesn't have to be with making millions of dollars. It has to do with how we live, how we make our money, and who pays for our expenses. That's what determines if we're a master investor, a capitalist. The 3 E's of a master investor or capitalist or an inside investor: number 1, financial education; number 2, financial experience; and number 3, excess of cash flow. As long as we have those 3 E's, then we can call ourselves a master investor, okay? And stay tuned for the new ebooks, courses, probably future events that we're going to be having in person. I believe we're going to bring that into our community here at Master Investor, because as we grow worldwide, we want to maybe get together for exclusive VIP events, and they're going to be constructive, they're going to be productive, they're going to be an opportunity for us to create something big, right? It could be new businesses, new ideas that come into fruition because we're networking at a certain place that will inspire us as well. It's going to be chosen wisely, a nice environment, 3-day weekend, all included, and so forth. And we're going to record everything, and it's just going to be an amazing culture of wealthy entrepreneurs, true leaders, and inside investors coming together, okay, as a community. And anybody that has enter into one of our courses, digital courses, that course will come with certain benefits in each event. So make sure that you opt in to get our digital courses and ebooks right on our website instead of going on Amazon, because it's just a better deal. You'll have the ebook, and then if you want the paper, you just get it on Amazon, but make sure you go to our website and get them there, because you'll have additional tools, and as we move forward, you'll have additional tools for free at your disposal for you to use, okay? That other people will be paying for it because they didn't get in at the time that we got in, okay? So make sure if you're listening to this right now, go to our website, click the link in the description, and start investing today. And every single minute of our lives count. Don't take it for granted. Don't think that, time stops for anybody. It doesn't stop for anybody. It continues. So we need to be focused. We need to be on our tippy toes. The race is now, right? We need to make sure that we are fit for whatever is coming our way. We prepare for any type of economy. We don't shrink. We don't lower our standards. We're expanding at all times, and we do business with companies. We incorporate because that's what the business people do. Okay, don't wait until you have a lot of money and then you incorporate. Don't do it like that. Do it the right way. Incorporate a company, right? Think of a big brand in the future. Can I turn this into this brand, right? Think of a name that is unique, right? Look for the big clues out there, successful clues. Nike, Adidas, Amazon. Look at their logos. Think of ways that we can impact the world, and that once they see our logo is in their mind forever, and when they see that again, they don't even need to see the name. They know exactly who we are. And that's what Master Investor is too, right? Our logo is unforgettable because this logo and this brand is for everybody to improve their wealth, to take our lives to the next level financially. And we all have an investor inside of us, but not everybody gets to turn that investor into a master investor. Through Master Investors community, anyone who listens and participates in our products and services will definitely tap into their master investor. And as long as we take action, right? We need to grab our information and I imagine and assuming that we are taking action. Okay, make sure that you leave a comment. Let us know how we are doing with our wealth number, what you learned from today's talk. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm here to help. I'm always looking at the comments and of course emails and everything that we get in through our sales team on our back office. I'm always looking at it, listening to our customers, partners, and everybody that's joining us here at Master Investor. I appreciate your time today on another amazing talk on money, business, and investing. Let me know if you have any feedback, and I'll see you and talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for supporting our brand here at Master Investor, bringing you the good and bad news of money, the business principles that work in other economies. Stay extraordinary and wealthy. Bye for now.